So why the need for fostering resilience? Why should we foster resilience? Using education, for example, why the need for fostering resilience? Imperativeness of fostering resilience for social transformation through educational solution, poverty and scarcity is or are to break the cycle of poverty. If you have the skill of developing resilience, because the idea of this conference is to find solutions, educational solutions that will enable us, the teachers, the stakeholders, to be able to instill the skill of resilience building, such as critical thinking and all that in children. But beyond that, also helping ourselves to understand that resilience is key to breaking the cycle of poverty. And the truth is that it's often said that you cannot give what you don't have. If you do not have the capacity, the ability to develop this resilience, or find a way of, helping people to develop resilience, you will not be able to help people to develop resilience. So, number one need for fostering resilience is breaking the cycle of poverty. Education is key driver of poverty. By providing access to quality education, individuals from disadvantaged backgrounds can acquire the skill and knowledge necessary to improve their economic circumstances. Resilience. Two, enhancing adaptive skills and resilience. In times of economic scarcity and uncertainty like now, resilience is crucial for individuals and communities to adapt. And by fostering resilience through education, Nigeria can cultivate a population that is not only better prepared to face economic difficulties, but can innovate and finding new solutions to pressing problems. Three, if one scale for resilience, there are a lot of things you can let go. And there are a lot of economic hardship can really, promote social tension in communities, in schools, in places where people congregate. And so, by fostering resilience through educational initiatives that encourage collaboration and dialogue, when we come to the innovative means of handling resilience, we are going to talk about how. Empowering citizens for active participation. In a struggling economy, it is essential for citizens to be informed and engage in decision-making process that affect their lives and communities. And so by fostering resilience through education, we can cultivate a politically aware and active citizenry that derives change, positive change, participate in governance, and contribute to democratic process. So when we talk about education as a catalyst, we are looking at how education can catalyze, can be a source of change, can be a change agent. How can education catalyze for change in building resilience? And they've just given ways through which education can do that: empowering individuals, empowering youth, global citizenship. We are going to dwell on that, later, and peace education, addressing social inequalities, leveraging technologies, and sustainable development. So, education as a catalyst for change in building resilience for societal renewal in Nigeria, through empowering individuals and all those addressing social inequalities. And when we come to the challenges, we discuss more detail. So we're not talking about the challenges. What are the challenges and barriers to building a resilient future through educational solutions? unless you know the problem, we find it difficult to address this problem. And that is why it is important to talk about these challenges and barriers. In the morning, the keynote presenter harped on some of these challenges and access and equity. We have marginalized and vulnerable population in Nigeria. For example, about 10.5 million children are out of school in Nigeria. The vulnerable population. And we also have the marginalized, girl child, and some communities in the rural places. So having access, education access, and equity to these people have become a challenge, a major challenge. Another challenge to building resilient future is resistance to change. Teachers, administrators, and communities have displayed resistance to adopting new teaching methodologies. It happens in some places, in some communities, teachers will say that this is not our culture. This is not our culture. Or the communities will say, this is not our culture. Do not bring what we do not approve. That at the community in the north, somewhere in the north, they resisted these vaccines, polio vaccines, and it took serious government intervention to convince them. So this could be part of resistance to change. And sometimes teachers also find it difficult to adapt changes. For example, use of ICT. Although I'm not talking to you, I'm not talking to some of you. Maybe I'm talking to teachers in primary schools or elsewhere. Use of ICT, and all that. Another one is ethical and cultural sensitivities. In some communities, gender roles, cultural norms, and values have hindered access to education. And inadequate funding. I don't want to talk about that inadequate funding. That should have been the first. But of course, we know that we are facing serious funding. That even Nigeria government is not coming even close to half of the funding they should direct to education, as suggested by UN, UNESCO, and others, that you dedicate about 15 to 20% of your national budget to education. Here, Nigeria is spending about 5 to 7%. So it's a problem. Monitoring and evaluation, that's lack of reliable data and standardized evaluation too, is also a problem, because if you do not assess the imports, if you do not assess the extent to which a program has gone, you will not be able to find make amendments, or you find it difficult to find solutions, be able to come up with ideas that will improve based on the data that you have. So it's a problem. Inadequate infrastructure, poor facilities, and lack of digital resources. And then we have shortage of qualified teachers, which is being addressed, but also it's a problem. In many rural areas, you also find out that there are problems associated with shortage of qualified teachers. Let's look at some of the recommendations. Well, recommendations are based on addressing these identified challenges. How can we ensure inclusive and equitable access to education? And we are saying that when we address this, inclusive and equitable access to quality of education, there will be improved access to education. So, and how do we address, for example, how do we address resource allocation? How do we address resistance to change? You can do that by improving teachers, that are trained in that locality. How do we address ethical and cultural sensitivities, such as data privacy in educational technology. We have to consider data privacy. We must also address how to protect students' rights. Issues. We talk about rights and ensure that technology is used responsibly. This time, you can see that technology sometimes can be used irresponsibly. In as much as AI is very good, sometimes they can be used the other way. Even our common social media can be used, negatively. Resource allocation by public-private partnership, by corporate social responsibility, by increasing budgetary allocation, and by so doing, we can address the issue of budgetary resource allocation. We can also address teachers' training and capability. Teachers must be equipped through initiatives to support students in coping with challenges. So let us quickly look at the tripod, what we call the tripod of when we talk about educational solution. Before we talk about educational solution, there are things that we need to, first of all, deal with. We call them ancillary considerations or precursors to educational solution as catalysts. If you want to make education to be viable, to be a catalyst, there are three important things that should be, addressed, should be considered. And those are policy formulation. Policy. If policies are not formulated in a manner to address issues, implementation becomes a problem. Management will attest to the fact that without policy, you will not be talking anything about management, educational management. There must be policy that will address particular issues. So in this case, if you are talking about resilience, addressing resilience, there should be policy in place to embed skills like adaptability. Policy in place that will embed skills like adaptability, problem solving, and critical thinking into the curriculum. Of course, you know that Nigerian policy on education is what we rely to even expand our educational practice. So embedding the skill through policy formation is important consideration. Now we also have to consider stakeholder collaboration and leadership to enhance resource mobilization, knowledge sharing, and policy alignment. There must be need to collaborate with stakeholders. And what are these stakeholders? You and me, we are all stakeholders. We have companies, we have organizations, we have even the government, they are all stakeholders. So, for knowledge sharing and policy alignment, we also need leadership by teachers, empowering educators as change agents. Change agents. We are all change agents and leaders in implementing innovative practice. And finally, strategic framework. Strategies that align with sustainable development goals. We need to have strategies that will align with sustainable development goals, particularly goal number 4, which aims to ensure inclusive and quality education for all. And Nigeria policy on education to incorporate resilience building elements. Resilience building elements. Remember, the title of this work is Building Resilience through Educational Framework. So let us look at these innovative and integrative educational solutions for upscaling resilience and promoting societal renewal. One is reform. One of the educational solutions will be innovative curriculum development. So having gotten the three considerations, policy, strategic framework, and the stakeholders collaboration, talk about now reforms for innovative curriculum development and pedagogical approaches. These reforms for innovative curriculum are in three areas: curriculum adaptation, curriculum integration. We need curriculum adaptation, okay, and then pedagogical approaches. We need curriculum adaptation to help bridge the gap between modern education and cultural values and integrate local knowledge into the existing curriculum. Not all local knowledge is bad. There are important local knowledge curriculum. For example, we can talk about if it is in terms of resilience, peace, education. Yeah, every locality, every community has an internal mechanism for ensuring that peace exists within the community and also be, adapted in the curriculum. Then integration emphasizes interdisciplinary learning. We talk about STEM, but also I talk about STEAM. STEM, that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But if you talk about infusing resilience element in curriculum, are you going to do away with arts? You cannot do away with arts. So we look for all the subjects or all the areas and find ways of integrating or infusing, embedding resilient skills in those areas, whether it be science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. And so, we can also talk about social and emotional learning, integrating social and emotional learning to help students develop emotional intelligence, empathy. Emotional intelligence, we've just of late found out that there is something like that is called emotional intelligence. Sometimes we call it local intelligence, emotional intelligence. Without emotional intelligence, sometimes surviving in an adverse situation becomes very difficult. That explains the reason why you could see people having suicidal ideation, people that have lost hope, people that believe that life is no longer worth living. And so this time around, we're talking about self, that is emotional, social and emotional learning should be infused, integrated into the curriculum so that children will have this emotional intelligence, develop empathy, how to feel for each other, how to share what you have, the little you have. Then talk about civic and peace education, focusing on teaching students about tolerance and respect for diversity. Respect for diversity. Although some of us are taking it with skepticism. This day, DEI, I hope that you understand. You know what DEI, because that appears that is where the world is shifting to. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, whatever that means. But in our local parlance, of course, if you go to the developed world, you talk about diversity. Of course, when you talk about diversity, there will be the emphasis there will be, it's always on diversity. That is accepting them. Would we be talking about that in our own environment? We are now saying no. So, but in our own, we can talk about diversity in terms of tolerance, tolerating people from different places, from different ethnic groups. Like we've said that we have more than 250 ethnic groups. Tolerate each other. That is tolerating our diversity, even in terms of religion. And we've talked about equity and then inclusion, including order, putting those in perspective, putting those things, ideas in perspective with regards to our local context. Then we also talk about pedagogical approaches, experiential and project-based learning to provide students with practical, hands-on experiences that deepen understanding. And under these pedagogical approaches, we can talk about community engagement, community-based educational initiative like adult education, and all that. Number innovative educational solution could be technical and vocational education and training. Remember, we are talking about innovation, educational solutions that will help us to build resilience, to improve our society. And technical and vocational education and training is one aspect because it's aimed at equipping young people with skills that match labor market. Skills, hand skills, hand skills. A child with a skill is likely to survive, to develop resilience, to be able. It's not about, for example, doing POS. This POS thing, or what else now? There are some of the things that we encourage young people do now for survival anyway. They can carry, and they're like POS, for example, any person can be. It's not a specialized skill. But if you talk in terms of barbing, for example, tailoring, for example, carpentry. The other day, our dear president, is talking about bringing some of these skills to primary school level, including plumbing. These are skills that people can develop, and they go out and they can survive, they can adapt in the society, because every day there will be things to do. People will have to barb their hair, people will have to mend their clothes, people will have to, do one thing or the other, carpentry work and all that. So technical and vocational education is important, and it's an innovative solution, educational solution that can help us to cope resilience, or to build resilience, and to cope the problem of adversity. Digital literacy and e-learning initiatives in education. AI has come to stay. AI and personalized learning, they can be used in education. Artificial learning and e-learning platforms can be used. When we talk about funding, and when we talk about marginalized societies, or vulnerable or marginalized marginalized people, we talk about those in the rural and remote areas. With AI, these people can be reached. Education can reach them. And once education reaches them, they can be taught this idea, peace education, they can be taught ideas of tolerance. And they can be taught some ideas that can enable them to survive. So educational technology can expand educational, especially in underserved regions, and can bridge the digital divide. Next is a community-based lifelong learning initiative and adult literacy. This encourages resilience by building strong social network that supports education, health, and economic development. And under here, we have adult education and lifelong learning. Nobody is old enough to learn. We continue to learn. And we know that in some localities, we still have adult education. Sometimes we call them distance learning. Community-based literacy initiative to help people to build this resilience values. What are the future perspectives and emerging trends? There are about 4 areas that I've identified as future perspectives and emerging trends that can enable us to develop resilience if attention is paid to them. One is educational technology advancement, exploring virtual reality. When we talk about virtual reality. It's like something strange, and some of us don't understand. It's not just about our phones. It's not just about our phones and our laptops. It is about opportunities for people to use gadgets to experience real life situation in a virtual setting. Sometimes will be wearable, still developing anyway. But we've started finding that in sports, in what we call gamification and other emerging tools. This is reshaping how educational solution. So VR, that is virtual reality, is creating immersive learning environment that allows students to experience real-world scenarios, enhancing experiential learning. You know, we can use VR to create disaster scenarios, to help students understand resilience and disaster management firsthand. So that is where the future perspective, that is where we are going, and that is what we think can help us also to build resilience. Gamification. Gamification is an aspect of technology where game mechanics are applied to learning environment. So preparing educators and learners for technological shift is also essential as new age. The next one is globalization and education. Globalization and education. Global citizenship learners understand their role in a globalized world. Global citizen, promoting responsible and informed citizenship is important. Gone are the days when, information is hidden from people. The AI or internet, online, and internet has made it very easy for us to, connect with each other in what we call global village. So globalization is another area. Children in remote areas can actually study with students in urbanized areas through internet to develop, global citizenship, to develop, promote responsible and informed citizenship. So, to do this, future direction should focus on equipping students with skills for globalized world that ensures resilience in today's interconnected environment. Language education falls within this globalization and education. Language education, I don't know how many of you are in arts. French is becoming an international language. This time, it is important to start, making efforts to helping students to develop, to be interested in multilingual ventures, learning many languages in what we call cross-cultural competencies. Language education and cross-cultural competencies are also vital. So when we promote multilingual education, it helps learners communicate across borders. Communicating across borders. I was in Russia the other time, just last year, and discovered that our lead, the young girl that was leading us, could speak English, could speak Chinese, could speak Spanish. Just a child. So they make efforts to teach them these languages. So making them global citizens. And you know the importance of language. If you come to a place and somebody is talking to you in your language, wouldn't you be comfortable? The thing that can put you off is when you travel, for example, in some places where the English is not there, and you hear them speaking their own language. You feel disconnected, isn't it? So that is the future area we are going. Language education, cross-cultural, to develop cross-cultural competencies. So then sustainability and environment education. Education for sustainable development should also be looked at. aim to empower students with knowledge, skills, and attitude and values necessary to shape a sustainable future. Sustainability. Any education that is being given or provided to students without the underlying idea of sustainability, how would this be sustained? Is this a sustainable one? Is a faulty education. So we are talking about integrating sustainability into curricula. As of now, we don't do that. So this is a future trend. It's an emerging trend. So primary, secondary, and tertiary education. Sustainability education should be included in the curricula to ensure that learners understand environmental issues and are motivated to act responsibly. In conclusion, building future resilience to foster societal renewal through educational solutions requires a multifaceted approach that leverages specific educational strategies to address the root causes of socioeconomic and security challenges. By investing in these educational strategies or solutions, Nigeria can build a resilient society that to face future challenges, reduce inequalities, promote peace and security, and drive sustainable development. Education remains the cornerstone of national transformation, and the effective implementation of these strategies is vital for Nigeria's progress towards a more cohesive and prosperous society. Final word and call to action. I want to call up on all of us, participants and key players as participants. Let's collaborate with fellow educators, collaborate with policymakers and community leaders. That will be what we are taking away from this conference. By the time we finish presenting our papers in diverse areas, let's also build in a way of collaborating. Take addresses, exchange contacts with your fellow, with your fellow participants, and then to innovate and develop educational strategies that promote resilience. By the time we are going away from here, we'll be talking about how can we build resilience? How can we build resilience in ourselves? And how can we impart resilience in our partnership, leverage data and share best to ensure sustainable, inclusive educational transformation that benefits all learners. So, to government, the call to action will be for government to walk the talk. Produce conducive environment. Government has said that it's going to review curriculum to improve hands-on skills, including plumbing in primary school. Let them walk the talk by providing conducive educational environment for implementing strategies that enhance resilient education. Thank you for your audience.
Thank you very much, our presenter. I think we can do better than that. The Dean of Education, whether former or current, is a dean, and he has spoken deanfully. Before we progress into the next segment, we want to make the floor open for comments, questions, and answers. We do all of this in 10 minutes. If there are none, while the refreshment is being served, questions and answers, yes. For only members who are registered for the conference. So show your receipts and you'll be served.
Can I go ahead? Can I ask my question?
Go ahead, ask your question.
I want to appreciate Professor for that wonderful delivery of the presentation. But I need a clarity. And my clarity is that you said French language is being taken like a global language now. But I'm told just last year, based on the research and the workshop, that the current wanted for now is Chinese language. But very soon, Chinese is going to be a global kind of
multinational jobs, multinational jobs will always say any other language, any international language that you have outside English is an added advantage. It's an added advantage. So if you know how to speak Chinese, I mean, you are good to go, because they can easily send you to that place for you to be able to actually operate very well. So I think that is the point we are trying to make. Not really which one is becoming more globalized. We are talking in terms of global citizenship and how we can foster that to build resilience. Yes, okay. Any other person, please?
Thank you very much. The question is clear, and the answer too, I think, is clear. Chinese is an emerging worldwide language. English has been a worldwide language for a long time. Same thing is French. Now is the turn of Chinese language. So I think it's a nice one. Any other comment or question anywhere on the floor? Questions, answers, comments? Yes. If you want clarification, nobody's hand is up again. They are always. Yes? You want to say something? Give a microphone. I thought there was a question coming. A hand was up at the back. Okay. Okay, none. We want the refreshment to be served quickly so that we can move quickly into the workshop, the AI workshop. The participants for the workshop, I'm sure your laptops are here because part of it is practical. There are two aspects to this workshop. One is AI for research. The other one is AI for teaching. Artificial intelligence for teaching. The other one is artificial intelligence research. Let us overcome some of these technical issues. Now you know that we are being with artificial intelligence for some time now. It's a recent technology we are used to. We want to ask the person to facilitate the first part of the workshop is no other person but a professor of industrial mathematics, the vice president of practitioners of artificial intelligence in Nigeria, South Vice President, National Association of Artificial Intelligence Practitioners. He also is a fellow of the Institute of Artificial Intelligence Practitioners in Nigeria. He's no other person but Professor Jonathan Shetimi. He is going to talk to us on for research. Please give him a round of applause. Yes, he likes sitting while talking. He's talking about artificial intelligence. He will get up.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. The Dean and our special guest, please permit me to stand on existing protocol. My name is Shetimi Jonathan, a professor of industrial mathematics. We want to really talk about AI for research. The presentation will be of two parts. The first one I'll take here. The other one I may sit down to do a demo of how you can use AI. Now, AI making the rounds or trend these days. Not because artificial intelligence is a new thing, but because by around November last year, a company, OpenAI, introduced to the world what they call ChatGPT. With that introduction, people began to see that AI can generate content. AI can produce new things. AI can instruct machines. Before now, programmers, mathematics, they used to write programs with programming language to talk to computer. But now, we are having a situation where the computers are the ones talking to the computers. So the endeavor to try to give some of our own intelligence to the machine has led us to where we are today. Because currently, machines can program machines. That is the whole gamut of where we are today with artificial intelligence. I will not bother you with terminologies that have to do with artificial intelligence. There are so many. But I'll just start by telling you or by telling us what artificial intelligence is. For this particular demonstration, let us take artificial intelligence as an attempt to give some of our functions to machines. Some of the functions we have, especially those that are educationals, they tell us those functions like cognitive functions, reasoning, and the rest. Those ones now, we're not trying to have the machines do those functions. The machine will learn, the machine will teach, the machine will read, the machine will summarize. Those are the functions that are exclusive to humans before now, but we're not giving them to machines. So any endeavor where the machine is trying to mimic, look at the word, trying to mimic that it is a human with reasoning faculty. We are talking about artificial intelligence. So with that brief introduction, we want to consider how artificial intelligence can be used for educational research. In the field of educational research, we have AI tools for collaboration, and there are very many. We have examples like Google Workspace, Microsoft 365, Overleaf, and the rest. What are the features of AI? To share documents. They enable you for real-time collaboration, and they enable version control. Talk about real-time collaboration. We now have situations where you may be collaborating with somebody. The person is here in Nigeria, or you are here in Nigeria. The person you are dealing with is in Japan. You can be working on the same document. On the same document. That was not possible before Google created a workspace to be able to use that. Allows you to collaborate on the same work, on the same document. Persons around the globe can work on just a single document. So AI offers online collaboration platforms. And mind you, most of these companies these days are creating AI assistants. Be it Microsoft, be it Google, whatever, they are creating what we call AI assistants. And AI assistants, they do virtually anything you want. If you log on to ChatGPT, it will tell you, ask me any question. Although there's a rider that the answers that may be given may be wrong. So you now use your human centeredness to be able to decipher what is wrong from what is right. But above that, if you are here and you are still using Google, you are still using search engines, then you are far, like 20 years ago. Because as we speak, World Wide Web is dead. Let me use that word. Because virtually all the functions you can do on the World Wide Web have now been transferred to AI. And AI offers better functionalities because it's doing what we call search engine optimization. So if you want to do a search in those days in Google, you say, give me literature on this topic. It will give you. You now begin to filter. You don't do that anymore. Just go to Google, Gemini, go to Microsoft Copilot, or you go to ChatGPT. You type, I need information on this. It can lead you to that. Besides, as we go on, you see that there are specialized research tools that you can use for research. So, as a researcher, I can tell you this day that you no longer need the worldwide, you no longer need search engines because those functionalities have been transferred to AI. Now, AI can be used for copywriting. Now, on the 10th of this month, we had our policy, the AI policy draft for Delsu that was taken, and we did so much on that. I believe the dean was there. Okay, but you were there. Okay, you were not there. Okay, but people from your faculty were there, and there were so many things that were said about the use of AI. Now, among the things that was adopted that will be taken to Senate is that we agreed that the past should be the past. When I was impeaching them, that many of these papers that are coming for plagiarism check, we don't need to do plagiarism check because all of them are AI generated. most of the things that the students are doing these days, they sit in their homes, they do data analysis, they do writing and the rest, and they bring it for us to run plagiarism. But after the AI policy come into force, what we'll be doing is that instead of running plagiarism, which has become obsolete, we'll be testing your level of participation in that document. And it was agreed that on an average, no document submitted, whether for thesis, for whatever, for promotion or whatever, cannot be more than 20% of AI content. So how do you avoid that? How do you avoid that? Because if you tell AI, write a story, it will write for you. Something item, it will give you. Do this calculation, it will do. My son that is in 200 level in this faculty, I was teaching him pilot. I was teaching him how to code. After some time, the guy stopped even asking me. At a point, I became curious and I said, why are you not coming again for your classes to learn Python, to learn how to code and the rest? You know what he told me? He said, Daddy, you are too slow. That I've gone ahead with AI. So you can imagine where we are these days. So, but how do you avoid having unfavorable AI content in the work you want to submit? A way of going around that is to use AI for copywriting. AI can actually be used for copywriting. For you, you paraphrase and you include your own work in it. In that case, nobody will be able to hold you for AI content. Because most of the AI content generator, the ones that test the content in AI these days, most of them are not foul-proof. But because there are some persons that have learned how the machine works, bring anything to me, I can tell you that this is 20%, this is 50%, this is 100% AI content. Because working with the machines for a long time, the machine has been learning from me. I also decided to learn from the machine to know how the machine is working. So when people tell you that there will be a time where AI will overtake humans, as a mathematician, I'll tell you that is based on the fact that, or based on the assumption that you feel that the human intelligence is static. But we find out that that is not the situation. As the machine is learning, the AI is learning, humans are equally learning. So at a point, when you think the machine is ahead, humans will also develop certain things that will make us to always be at par. The machine will never be able to overtake us. But mind you, there are dire consequences for you staying static. For example, the AI is capable of job displacement. It's a fact. Mind you, job displacement is different from job replacement. What is happening these days, you have, there's an hospital in China that has only one nurse and one doctor. And they can treat about 100 times the patients that can be treated by human doctors if the hospital is full of workers. How did they achieve that? They are using AI for diagnosis, AI for treatment, AI for prescription, and the rest. There's a particular university, also in the US, that is coming up now without a single lecturer. That is what we mean by job displacement. So if you do not learn the basics, if you don't learn what will equip you for this 21st century, you may be displaced from your work. But AI is not capable, as far as we have the knowledge we have now, to fully replace humans. AI does not have that capability. So you need not be worried. You fear that you'll be displaced, but you will not be replaced. So what are the advantages of using AI techniques for copywriting? You have efficiency and speed, consistency, data-driven insights. We have cost effectiveness. And we also have search optimization. We also have language translation. You can write something in your own language. You can tell AI, translate it to English. It will be done for you. So we also have personalization and also creative assistance. That is if you use AI for copywriting. But it has these disadvantages. It lacks human touch. It is unable, it has limited conceptual understanding. The initial investment and training is costly. Advantages that you may get if you continue to rely on AI for copywriting. But the advantages of using AI for copywriting, especially when you want to avoid being caught of using AI, cannot be overemphasized. So instead of allowing AI to do all the work for you, use AI as a tool to do work for you. So if you have a tool cannot replace you. But if AI becomes your master, then it will displace you from your job. Now, what are the areas of application of AI, especially in research? We've already talked about copywriting. We have AI enhanced search engines. We have AI that can create social media content. AI can be used for marketing, can be used for speech recognition, can be used for computer vision, recommendation engines, and of course, the one that is very popular, chatbot. Another name for chatbot is internet robot. You talk with the chatbot, it gives you content, it answers you. Most of them are so proud that they say they can answer every question. What has happened there is this. So the time that the AI is talking to you, all the information you have that is available has been transferred to the AI. The AI have access to all the information you have. So the AI is faster to actually get content when you are using a chatbot. We'll talk about it later. What you use to talk to a computer these days is no longer programming language, but prompt. You prompt the computer gives you answer. You reply to another prompt, it gives you answer. Then we have automatic stock trading. We have banking and finance, data security, travel, manufacturing, and again, robots. When you add computer vision and you have robots, then you begin to talk of, that is how people are being able to create AI that are human-like in nature. And those AI are called humanoids. If we have things we call electronic personalities. These entities are humans. They have identity. But at the end of the day, if you check them very well, they are not humans. I had this experience when I was doing one travel, international travel. There was a lady that was sitting beside me and was always talking to me. The guy that was close next to me never knew that that particular person that was always talking to both of us was actually not a human being, but an electronic personality. But with the experience I had, I was able to see that the eyes was actually created with computer vision. I was just looking at the eyes, and I was very what I was telling that particular machine. So these days, you may have situations like that. Somebody may be very close to you. You think it's a human being. At the end of the day, it's simply a humanoid. AI can also be used for astronomy. And the big one, AI is used for coding. Coding. And that is what people that have gone to school for 5 years, they graduate as computer engineers, they graduate as computer programmers. That is what they are trained to do. But these days, the AI does it better than humans. I just gave you my experience. With all the things I was doing, my son said I was too slow. Besides, it was just a 200 level. And he said I was too slow. AI is teaching him how to code. There are ethical issues that should be brought into consideration when we are dealing with AI. Data responsibility, fairness, explainability, robustness, transparency, inclusivity, moral agency, accountability, and trust. Then again, you can have the issue of technology overuse. Too much of everything they say is bad. There are people these days that can no longer write a letter because they have AI to do it for them. There are people these days that do not check spellings because they have AI to do it for them. So technology overuse creates an ethical issue that will lead to overdependence in machines and may also lead to plagiarism. And one that is very crucial is that innovations in AI are outspacing government regulations. The UN has been very worried about this. That they are trying to deal with is the issue of autonomous warfare. The first time in March this year, the UN came with a resolution, a unanimous resolution, that people, schools, government should look for a way of stemming development in AI. Because of this problem of autonomous warfare, if you train a machine and you send the machine to war, the machine goes there and the person is declared enemy. I tell you, enters here now, can look at everybody as free, but if he sees a child with a toy gun, he guns the child down and say that is an enemy. So we have to be very careful. That's why even in our school, we come up with things to stem developments in AI. AI technologies in academic research, we've talked about some of them. We'll just look at things like AI for writing and editing. We also have AI literature review. We have AI for citation, referencing. In November last year, I was told to give a talk when I was in the postgraduate school on AI. I had so many documents which I've already downloaded at the end of the day. And I told myself, how do I do this? About 5 hours. In a space of about 5 hours. That was because I was stopping, read over 205 literature. I read them. I could say I read them because I submitted them to AI to read for me. I was just waiting. AI would tell me, oh, this is the literature, this is what this document is talking about, and all that. So at the end of the day, you see that you can equally do that. You have so many information, so much information that you cannot deal with. Submit it to your AI. It will do the literature review for you. We'll do some demo and see how that can be done later as we go on. We also have enhanced search engines, actually the precursor of what we have today as generative AI. Search engines were being enhanced by certain keywords so that they can do the search properly. The features are understanding of user intent, personalized recommendation, improved search relevance, enhanced natural language understanding, and better user experience. The example, Google, Bing, Yandex, Bagoo, there are so many of them. Most of these search engines these days are having extensions of AI in them. AI technologies can also be used for data collection. And the features are that this data collection can be used for natural language processing. They can be used for machine language algorithms. They can be used for AI-powered survey platforms, chatbot integration, and also sentiment analysis and data validation algorithms. Now, the examples of AI technology for data collections, we've already mentioned them, and we have specific tools. If you look at that slide, tools that can be used. We may demonstrate one or two of them if time permits at this workshop. we actually see how they can be used for data analysis. You know, one thing that proves very difficult if you are reading a particular paper, one thing that has proved very difficult is how to interpret tables. Some authors will just put a table there without any explanation. And at times, if you are able to explain that table, you get a better understanding of what the author is talking about. Now, if you have a document that has a table, you can submit that document to AI. AI will pick the table from that document and interpret that table for you and tell you how that table is actually helping this person to conceptualize the document that you are reading. So we'll look at things like sentiment analysis and also data validation with AI. AI technologies are used for general academic research. They enhance the process of general research by streamlining data analysis, automating tedious tasks, and providing valuable insights. If you are dealing with a particular AI Skype space, you can just submit a document to it and tell it to give you insight on that particular document. It can give to you. You can use AI to create abstract. You can use it to create general conclusion for your particular document. The examples are there: IBM Watson, Zotero, Mendeley, Grammarly, and Google Scholar. These are things that we've been dealing with before, but they now have extensions with AI that you can use. AI technologies for writing and editing. We've talked much about this, but we just have specific examples that are there now for us to look at. We also have AI technologies for literature review. Examples are given there. We have OpenRead, Jenny AI, Consensus AI, Elicit. As the name implies, Elicit can actually elicit content from any document you give to it. So if you have a particular paper that is proving very difficult for you to understand, just supply it to AI. AI will give you what that document is talking about. We have Schematic Scholar, you have Mendeley, you have PubMed, and we have IBM Watson. Now, what are the features of this? They have advanced data analysis, they have citation management, they have collaboration and networking, data verification and credibility assessment, knowledge synthesis, and personalization or customization. Now, the features of AI technologies for paraphrasing are that they can text paraphrasing, you can use them for plagiarism prevention, you can use them for citation management. You see now, you may have done some work using AI. Now, you can also use AI to paraphrase that work to make it that cannot be detected by AI itself. You can actually still do that. So, by doing that, you find out that you are also putting your humanness into the work. So AI will not be able to detect the level of machine content inside. Of course, their user-friendly interface, their readability and coherence is very good, and also they have speed and efficiency. We have some of them that are very popular. Word AI, if you are using 360, 365, IBM 360 or Microsoft 365, you can actually use we have Qbot, and we have ChatGPT, and we have other paraphrasing tools. They can help you to avoid what we call plagiarism in your work. AI technologies can also be used for referencing and citation. And it could be very good You are writing your document. You can leave your interest citations there. AI can help you to with whatever format you want, be it APA, be it whatever format you are using. Just tell the AI that this is the format I want to use. It will bring all the references to you at the end of the day. So when you work, nobody will say, oh, there were some references that are not cited, or some cited references that are not listed. AI will make sure it gets everything done accurately for you. Now we're going to have some demos on the use of Gen AI at this stage. But before then, we can answer some questions on the presentation before we do the demonstrations.
My name is Akpokinyobo Johnson. Permit me to stand on the already established protocol. Sir, I quite appreciate your lecture. And yesterday, I heard about Delsu, that putting together artificial intelligence program for the university. Now, my own area is area of persons with special needs in Nigeria. You have quite explained a lot when it comes to artificial intelligence. Now, as a special person, my phone, my computer, all I do is, I can say, is with artificial intelligence. I don't use my eyes to operate my computer. I don't use my eyes to operate my phone because the white man has built everything there for me. Send me text message, my phone will read it. If I'm at computer writing, research, and everything, my computer talks like human being. And that is what I use to work. Now, my own area is for Delsu. As we are putting all these program artificial intelligence together, are you considering persons with special need in terms of inclusivity? In those days, we have students whose hands are shaking. They can't hold biro. In the University of Jos, they will bring somebody who will sit by that person. As he or she reads the question, we talk, and somebody will help him or her to write the question answers down. And that is what they will mark, and the person will graduate. But nowadays, with artificial intelligence, you don't need somebody that will write. Talk to the computer will write the answers down. So, as a university, are you people considering persons with special needs in terms of putting together this artificial intelligence? And when we talk about persons with special needs, person with special needs, I think you know what I'm talking about. Person with visual disability, hearing impairment, intellectual disability, and the rest. That is my question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. The document you are talking about is this particular one. This particular one. The very first philosophy of this document is inclusivity. That is the very first. So it caters for everybody. Every student, staff, academic, non-teaching, and the rest. That is the first. It is on page 2 of the document. It says philosophy of the policy. The very first one is inclusivity. Don't be worried. Everybody is taken care of in this document.
Okay. Thank you, the presenter and our workshop leader. I became so interested in your presentation, and I want to commend you for that. It's just mine, it's just a comment, not necessarily a question, because the capabilities of AI is so enormous. Mine is to join in asking fellow participants to leverage AI in their research. He has said everything about how you can put in your human content. There was one aspect I was listening to here. I think I need to share with you. It's not just about the AI interpreting risk or interpreting studies. It also does analysis, data analysis. That means that you can create a research code, or that is code the responses either in Excel, either in SPSS, and just put them, ask the AI to do analysis for educational people that are in education. Some simpler analysis you can do, percentages, frequencies, test of differences, assisting in relationships association. Can just ask the AI to do the analysis and the outcome. You'll be surprised at what you see. It will give you the differences, interpret, explain that in a layman's form. To that extent, would you say that you have added your human to that analysis? One, I feel that you have, given that you supplied raw data to it. But it's going to as well give you some to the analysis which you may not have even expected had you gone in to do the analysis yourself. So I just want to comment and maybe ask in this direction whether AI, would we say that it was an AI generated product or a human one? I don't know if you get my question.
Yes, I get you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, maybe let's take this one first. There are, just like the prof said, there are some specific AI tools that can do analysis for you. If you are still using SPSS, that means you are 20 years back. SPSS, those other things you use, you are still back. For example, there's a tool called Beasley AI. Exactly what you are saying, Beasley AI will do that for you. It even goes further. You can give it hypotheses to test. It can even suggest hypotheses that are testable, hypotheses in the direction of research. It will give you needs. Everything you want to do, it will do it for you. But where the human content comes in is that when you are transcribing such information, just like you do for SPSS, it has that interface between you and SPSS has been transferred to the machine. So that when you are collecting that information, you know how to put it down in your own words. At the end of the day, another AI checking it will not be able to know whether you actually use SPSS or you use VC. That is where the human content comes in. But if we have people that are very lazy, AI has done everything for you. Just begin to copy it and you come and supply it as your document. We use AI to test. Such documents, I don't even need AI. Ask Professor Nabofa. We belong to a committee. I've been warning them. When I see this document, I tell them that, no, this document is written by AI. They said, how do you know? I said, I'm seeing it now. The machine was studying me. I'm also studying the machine. I see that this is machine language that is here. So at the end of the day, the emphasis is also on human centeredness. The humans must also do their work by using AI as a tool. But it is a very good tool to use.
See, thank you very much. Don't let AI use you. Use AI. Use AI. Please clap for him. Yes. We have listened to a lot of theories. There is a demonstration, but before we go on to that demonstration, let us do the practical. Before you ask the question, let's do the practical of the use of AI in teaching. and learning. We are in education, Abi. Let us practicalize how do we use AI to teach. So I want us to do some practical. How many of us are with our laptops here? Or if you have your phone, yes, I want you now, let me come down so that we can now do the practical. We want to practicalize the use of AI in teaching. Yes. Bring my Efe. Efe, bring the some. Put the cord here for me. See, I will try to rush through. And we now give, not just, I'm not going to rush through that way, but we are going to look at things in full. As teachers, what do we do in teaching? What are those things we normally do as teachers? That's the question I'm asking. That's the practical we want to do. Those things we do in teaching. How do we use AI to assist us in doing those things? Let's look. I decided I want to come nearer us. After all of us are teachers. Let it be that it's a teacher that is talking to a fellow teacher. I'm not an industrial mathematician, so I can't stay up there. Let me come down to us here as teachers talking to teachers. So it's just 4 points that we have to talk about. The first point is want to overview AI in education. He has spoken of it already. So we'll not talk too much there anymore. Step 2, want to be exploring the AI tools. I want to explore only 3. 3 because these 3 are freely available. The other ones, you want to pay for them. They are ChatGPT, Gemini, and Copilot. These are the 3 AI tools I want us to use and practice with them. If you don't have them already, you can go to Google and download them. ChatGPT, Gemini, and Copilot. If you are using a laptop that has Microsoft Word, there's a, what we call a, good. It has Copilot directly on it. You are browsing with any of those ones to give it to you. So number 3, we'll do practical application. We'll do the practical here. So that in fact, I'm actually going to jump to those practical so that we'll look at the things we do as teachers. How do we go about it? Then the final step is the ethical consideration. What do you consider as ethical use of AI? And we have said from what the summary of what Professor Shetimi said is, don't allow AI use you, rather make use of AI. That is it. So, what is AI? I have told you everything about what AI is. What are the concepts? Machine learning told you everything. I don't want to go into that. AI in education. To answer the question on special people, you see, AI education is in education is specifically used for personalized learning. Personalized learning. No matter the kind of person you are, no matter your physical ability or disability, AI has the ability to make the learning that you are, the training that is going on to be personalized to you. It's made personal to you. Efficiency, data, and of course, you have data insights. You see, we are just finished with the conference. We have collected all the papers, but I can assure you, before tomorrow, we set up a committee to do a communique. The committee, the leader of the committee has gone out, and the secretary is, I'm not even seeing him too. Meanwhile, the conference is on. He called me, the chairman of the sub-chairman of the committee, on the communique. Called me, said it's in Agbo. It's not coming tomorrow. The secretary is not even around. What do we do? I liaised with my friend. Look, these papers that have been presented here or that are listed to be presented, let's ask AI to give us a communique. Behold, sir, we have a communique for this conference already. So that is what we look at now. So there's data-driven insights. If you have your data and you don't know what to make out of your data, AI will help you what you want with those data. See, let's look at 3. AI in education is the current trend, whether you like it or not. Say, don't use AI, don't use all the you have, both at home and in school. using AI for everything. Tell them to give you anything, any write-up assignment to give to them. It's AI they are using. Yes, all. It's AI they are using. If you are not used, or not, okay, don't have any technical know-how of AI, you will not be able to help those children. They will become what we call rote learners. Rote learners are those who one time, one or two, do that. At the end, everybody will echo the end. But only a few persons has what we call deep learning that can keep it inside. So that is the current trend in education. That is current trend in education. So adaptive learning, I've talked about before, personalized content delivery. You deliver the content. We are teachers now. If you want to teach a class, the ability of the class, AI help you to personalize that content to that particular every individual child. Yes, in the class. That is one of the uses. There is the current trend. Tutors, we're talking about virtual assistants. When we had COVID-19, AI came to the aid of human beings. If you are not able to come to class because of one thing or another, you should be able to use your AI to learn what are taking place in the class. You see, automated grading and feedback. When you tell students to write an essay and submit, and the essay is very long, and you have 100 students in your class, are you going to read all of that 100 essays and finish in one time? It's going to be very difficult for you. What you do is this as a teacher. Let them submit soft up. Give the marking guide to the AI. It will mark them for you and give you your result. Very objective. We are going to practice it. We're going to put it to practical now, today. See, and it's data-driven. I've talked of tracking improvement. Whether your students are improving or not. That's the thing. Adaptive learning platform, what have you, examples are Chevron, powered assistance tools. Let me jump down to what we do as routine task. Let's go straight to what I want us to do. With let's stop talking. What do we do in education? Persons come to class and say, this is the lecture notes I was taught with. My lecturers gave me this lecture notes. So this is the lecture notes I'm going to use to teach. Ladies and gentlemen, this lecture notes that is given to you, do you think the core curriculum CC Math from NUC now, can this your lecture note that your lecturer gave to you 10, 15, 20 years ago, can it cope? No, it cannot cope. And moreover, what you even taught last year, the knowledge you had last year, is obsolete today. It's gone. So you must be innovative. So teachers get what we call the latest content for lectures in that area of specialization. So that's the first thing I want us to do. Let's open ChatGPT. Open ChatGPT, everybody. Open ChatGPT. Get a topic in your phone, sir. Go online. Open it. ChatGPT. Get a topic on a topic in your area. You want to look at getting the latest content for lectures in your area. That is it now. You want to look at how do we do that with ChatGPT? That I want us to practice. Good. What are you going to do? You open your ChatGPT. Good. Then on the prompt page, ChatGPT will tell you, ask me what you want me to do. Is that not correct? No. Under the different prompts, the main prompt where you can type, there's a place. Say, ask me. Good, yes. Good. You want you to type in that place. Say, please summarize the most recent information on this topic. Or that you want to teach now. Just prompt it that, summarize the most recent information on the topic. Most recent information. Those of us in human kinetics, exercise and sports science, say the most recent information on geriatric sports. No, take my own on geriatric sports. Geriatric sports. Let me use mine now. I'm sure we are saying it now. This is the prompt you see there. Right? Look up, you see that ChatGPT will ask you, what can I help you with? Is that not correct? summarize please summarize. Let me type it so that I will type mine too. I will say it's a practical. Let's do the practical today. Topic. Mine is on, this is mine. I'm in fitness, exercise fitness. I'm talking about geriatrics fitness. After you've done that, send it with the upward arrow. It will give you the information you need to teach that your topic. Question is, please summarize the most recent information on the topic. Take any topic in your area of specialization. Yes, you can say in trauma. But you have GPT now. Good. You see the response that's given to you. Go. No, even there, so you can upload it there. You don't have GPT too. This is not GPT now. Okay, you're using Meta AI. You're using Meta AI. You're giving you something now. I don't use Meta AI is too big for academic work like this. I want you to use ChatGPT, Gemini, or Copilot. I want to use those three tools. Yes. Yes. It's in your what called WhatsApp. Okay. Okay. That question you have, I'm sure have we done all of it now? You have generated the latest content in that area. Next point I want us to look at is write 10 multiple choice questions with 4 options with answers on that topic. Write 10 multiple choice questions. You have given the same question already. You say write 10 multiple choice questions with 4 options with answers under your topic. Questions. We said questions. We said questions in exams. We said questions, said theory questions. All you need to do is to upload what you have used in teaching them. I've taught this because this is the course content I taught. Now please give me generate 10 multiple, 100 multiple choice questions with answers. Good. Those of us who teach 100 level courses, you know it's ICT, CPT based exam. Just upload what you have used in teaching the student, then tell the tool, ChatGPT, to generate 100 questions for you. It will generate it. Yes, it will generate on your topic. Yes. Yes. On the topic. Are you done? Eh? It's very fast, Abi. Good. You are coming up. I'm sure we are following. Yes. Are we following? Think questions. First of all, the latest content. We generate latest. We generate as teachers. We generate latest content in our area of specialization. After generating the latest content, you also set questions, Abi. And now that 100 level exams are now CBT, they will say set 100 questions. All you need to do, the material you use in teaching the students, upload it, then tell ChatGPT, set 100 questions with 4 options with answers. Here for me, it will upload it and give to you. Yes? No, they will not. You are the one. AI does not expose your questions. She has a concern. Let us hear her concern.
Good afternoon, all. AI is actually helping us very well. No issues. But if you are making a research and you are using a chat, how do you reference your work? Because all you are doing now, AI is not citing any author. So how do you reference your work? Wait. Okay, let me finish. Then, secondly, you are in a class teaching the students. As you are teaching them, they are generating questions. You see, you are talking now. They are already generating questions. How do you handle that?
2 questions. Can ChatGPT give you references? Hello, ma. Listen to your answer. Professor Shotimi told you, don't let AI use you alone. As you are using AI, AI is using you. But you use your human touch to make use of this AI too. You will be okay. You can, it's what you tell ChatGPT that will give to you. If you want it to give you references, it will give you references. The free ChatGPT is 3.5. It's free of charge. But if you want to use the one I'm using, you pay $20 every month. ChatGPT 4.0 Pro. $20 every month. That's what you pay. You'll be able to use it. That one, you can upload the whole textbook. You can upload the whole thesis. Right? Now, to the second question. So it can give you any kind of references you want, the way you want it. But I will say, when ChatGPT gives you references, please check that reference online. Go to Google, paste it. If you don't see it, other ones, it will give you other ones. They use those ones to replace what ChatGPT has given to you. You are not the one writing the work. By the time you are replacing those ones that with what you are, the one you have seen online. Hope we are communicating with that. Now, children look you said children look at it and see a class as you are teaching. Yeah, they'll give you phone. Good. You should be happy with those kind of group of students. Me, I am always happy with them. You know why? I don't go to class to detect notes. I discourage it. The last workshop we had here, I said all should stop detecting notes. Because all the notes you want to detect, the students know how to access it better than even you. And in most cases, most of the lecture notes you are coming to detect, they are old notes. They are old notes. The children have more recent information. Therefore, if you want to be the master in your class, facilitate the leading. Write the topic and say, our activity today is this. Now let the people contribute this. By the time all of them have contributed, let us summarize. Spend that 1 hour, 2 hours on asking for contributions and brainstorming on those contributions. By the time you are through, you come up with a very robust lecture that will remain with the students forever. Will not go away with them. But if you are the one that is taking notes, they will checkmate. It's not going to work that way. Good. We are talking about teaching tasks. Teaching tasks. As teachers, what do we do in teaching? I've said developing questions. We have just learned how to develop questions, Abi. Let's look at the next one. Now, we also grade essays. We grade essays. Essay question. I said, when you want to set essay questions for your students, set it, let them submit it online to you. When you want to supervise your students, let them submit soft copy of your statement of problem to you. Then grade it. Grade that problem. Now look at an example of grading essay papers. We said the marking guide to the, you see that? We said the marking guide to the discussion forum is, you write it there. Check total number of words. If in excess of 250, deduct 5. Listing of the 3 impacts of AI. Give 4 marks to each. Total 12. Discussion of each of the 3 listed impacts. 16 marks for discussion of each. Total 48. Total score for this is 40. After you giving this, then upload all the responses from each of the students to ChatGPT. It will your reply, and it will give you not just the result alone, it will align them one by one, each as it goes. I will communicate. Can we, somebody want to try it? We don't have time, but put it down like that. You try it and we'll be able to do it. We are talking about teaching now. We also draft memos. We draft memos with AI. You see, very recently, I'm a head of department. A colleague petitioned me to the Vice Chancellor for what he felt I have offended him. I did not respect, didn't have regard for him. The petition is so long, there was no way, I don't know how to respond to it appropriately. You know what I did? I converted that word, I used Google Lens to convert the petition that read through me. I converted it to Microsoft Word and told ChatGPT, please respond and deny these allegations. I'm telling true, these are true life stories, right?
People who registered for this workshop will have, that you registered for the workshop, you will have the soft copy of this presentation. Yes, we will send it to you. Now, let's look at the last one. We'll send it to you, yes, because you registered for the workshop. If you register for the conference, you won't get it. Now, we said develop curriculum development. You know, as teachers, we develop curriculum. Is that not correct? Hello? Very recently, we did core CC mass development of 30% component of CC mass. How did we go about it? I'm sure those of us who are savvy with AI, we have used it to help us. Then the rest of us who are not very, very good with AI, we have to spend days and years and months before we're able to, several weeks. And our paper was going up and down. We couldn't, before we managed to get the correct one. So all you need to do with curriculum development is address it, what you want it to do for you. For example, in the prompt page on ChatGPT now, the prompt, there's a prompt session. Okay, it's coming up. I will show you the prompt session now. All you need to do is to say, develop the curriculum for the graduate students in Nigerian universities on so and so thing. It will develop it for you. That's what it does. Which other tasks we do in teaching? Yes, thank you, sir. What are the other tasks we do in teaching?
undaunting. They are very, very strenuous for us as teachers. It's very, very easy for AI to help you do them. It will help you do them. Ask for this, just prompt it. It will give them to you. I think we are done with the questions and answers. Or rather, we are done with the chat. I'm going to clap and I try small. Well, I'll ask it. You see, let me confess another sin. Another sin I committed. See this book we wrote. We had just 3 weeks. Contributors contributed in 2 weeks, which means I had only 1 week to review it. If I send these papers to other reviewers I bring back, it take me at least 2 to 3 months before it will come out. What I did is, as they were bringing their contributors, the chapter contributors they were bringing, all the contributors they were bringing theirs, I'll send it to AI. Please align this chapter with, to be in line with the title of the book, and also enhance the quality of paper so that it meet the quality for a modern publication. That was what I told AI. And all the chapters were well edited, and in 1 week I was done with 18 chapters. Then I also used another AI tool called Quillbot. Quillbot, I told Quillbot, this, what we have done here, the whole book, I listed the whole book there. Please correct the English language for me. It corrected the English language, all the point that was there. It did it. Then the next thing I told it, please check for the AI content. It highlighted all the AI content. And now I write it again. See, this AI content is too much for this book. Help me to regenerate it so that it will reduce the AI content. Are you seeing the human touch? Good. Now, when it generated, I saw that some information were now mangled. I told it, no, this information here is not exactly, it's not flowing well the way it should flow. I don't want to be specific in this because other people's writing, other people's work. My own outfit. He did it. After I've done it, I said, okay, it's now okay. You know what he told me? Thank you for teaching me. Thank you for teaching me. Yes. It acknowledged me for teaching it what we have done. Good. So that is it. It's time now for questions and answers. Ask me a question. Somebody ask me. Give him a. So that I go home now. Sir, I didn't hear that. Eh? It's even the free one will do for you as well. The free one will do for you, but it will delay you. It will delay you. ChatGPT 4.0 mini will allow you to do some things. After some time, will tell you that you have done enough for the day. Don't do again. That's what it will tell you. You start the following day. But if you have pressure to do this kind of work I was doing, you have to pay. Yes.
Thank you very much for the presentation. No, thank you very much. Sir, my question is, if you ask AI to for anything and it presents it, and you ask a detector to analyze it.
Please don't go ahead. There's an announcement. Tomorrow we're having the technical sessions. Tomorrow technical sessions are going to place. Please don't go yet. There's going to be an announcement after these questions. Please stay on a little bit.
Yes. And you ask AI detector to analyze it. It might detect 100% AI content. Now my question is, there are also tools to make it zero AI content. Also using AI. We want to know such paraphrasing tools. And again, how do you use them? Just like you were saying, you didn't practicalize it. You know, you didn't practicalize it. There was no, just like when you were saying we should ask ChatGPT question and it's going to come out. How are we going to use AI to paraphrase our work? Thank you.
We practicalize it as well, just like I say now. See, what I did with this book. Hello, hope you are listening, sir. What I did with this book, let me answer his question first. What I did with this book, I'm telling you, and I wrote it here. What I did with this book, when the AI content was high, I told Wilbot is $48 a month. I bought. I told it, rearrange it. After rearranging it, the human touch now, I had to read through. One, it did not make use of my pattern of language. Two, the information given was not exactly correct and it was not well aligned. So I wrote it back to him. This information is not well aligned. One. Two, writing. And this information is not exactly correct. This should have been the correct thing. Check and verify it before responding. Right? What Professor Shetimi told us, what I've done, I've brought in human touch. It's no longer, hey, I'm taking AI hook, line, and sinker anymore. It is now my work. I'm the one now interrogating the AI, and I'm making use of the AI to do my work for me, to assist me. Thank you.
Sir, I know that we have AI in our phones. If I want to install it in a system, how can we do that?
How do you install Meta AI? I'm using my system. Yes, see, if you use this browser, most of the browsers even have AI. Yes. If you are using this Microsoft browser, Bing, if you are using Bing, Copilot is there. Copilot free. And Copilot will give you, that is it. See it there on the screen. Right? You are seeing it. See the Copilot at this corner here. There's Copilot here. See where my cursor is? That is Copilot here. Now, see it at this corner. Copilot. See, it's telling me now, your everyday AI companion. Once you open this browser, it comes up. So any question you want to ask it, go ahead. It will give you your. You see what it's saying? We have to type. It say, ask me anything. It will give you. See that corner by the right. Where something is blinking. That one is AI. This also AI. Copilot AI. That is the thing. You have seen Copilot. Ask me anything. That is where you should put the prompt. You can talk or you type. Good. We are going to ask. Please give her the microphone to talk.
Excuse me, sir. Please, I want to know whether AI can help me to calculate data. Data for me.
When the other prof was talking about AI for research, yes, there are AI tools that will analyze your data for you. All you need to do, feed your data in. Is particularly measured Beasley. Beasley is an AI tool. It will give you everything, analyze the data for you, give you your report as it should be. Just tell it how you want it, the kind of presentation APA pattern you want it. It will give you all the tables like that. All of them. Just give it. It will even, with the data you have given it, it will even help you generate hypothesis. If you didn't give it hypothesis before. Right? That is Beasley. It will give you AI tool. Yes, an AI tool. Yes, I'm sure there are no more questions.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yes, I'm listening, yes.
My name is Mr. Nkeze from Technical Education.
Yes, I'm listening to you. see it here too. Click on this.
Okay,
Yes, I'm listening.
you said a lecturer can tell ChatGPT to generate 100 questions for 100 level students. But don't that makes your question to be disclosed to your students based on the students can also, while practicing for the exam, put in that same material you give to them and tell ChatGPT to develop questions. At least if they develop 300, out of that 300, they should have about 50 to 8 that you will generate to. So how do you track that?
A very good question. See, like I told you, students now use ChatGPT to study. Right? I hope you are listening, sir, Mr. Ekeze. Students now use, whether you like it or not, they use AI for their study. And you cannot stop it. Right? If you generate 100 questions, and you now take the whole 100 questions, book line and second submit, AI is using you. You are not the one using AI. You are expected to doctor those questions to suit you. Good? And the purpose of exam is not to make students fail anyway. It's to make them pass. So if you are studying and they are able to use AI to get your questions and study, they are able to get 80. You have not revealed any question. They studied and they are able to get, because they will not carry the answers to the exam hall. Thank you. If we have more questions, yes, there is another question there. Please give it to him. Mind you, it's a workshop, so let us talk, argue.
Thank
something
you.
to contribute, you contribute.
Thank you, my professor, for your good presentation. My question is, as academics, I know that for our university we have AI policy. What about other foreign journals? Okay, let's mention these corpus papers and other ones that we use in the school. How much tolerant level for AI do we present in our papers? Thank you.
You see, this question you have asked was asked during the AI policy workshop on the 10th last week at the Faculty of Management Sciences. We said we should start with 20%. Well, most journals don't tolerate higher than 10%. Most journals that uses Scopus will not tolerate more than. But you have been given a leverage, a leeway. Use AI to remove your AI content in your work. One thing you should not do, please, don't use AI to generate data for you in education. Design your questionnaire yourself, administer your questionnaire, gather your data, put them out, then in your data, let them help you to analyze it. Don't use AI to gather data for you. But otherwise, you tell it to give you data, AI is using you. In education, we use questionnaire to collect responses. We use to collect data. That data you generate, put it on the spreadsheet, then upload it. Let AI help you to interpret that data. Don't use it like that for you. That way you will not any this thing that you identify. Like I said, Quillbot has a very powerful paraphrasing tool. It will change the language for you such a way that the AI content will no longer be there. Yes. If we are tired, that's why there are no questions. Okay. Give a question. Another question is there.
Hello, Prof. My question was about. So you just highlighted my question. I wanted to ask if after using AI, whether it would be proper for us to use Quillbot to reduce plagiarism tests. I don't know if it amount to multiple something. So can we use the two at the same time?
Yes,
AI and
Quillbot is AI.
Okay.
Quillbot is AI. The ChatGPT is AI. Google Scholar is an AI tool. All of them are AI tools. AI tool, use AI tool to remove AI content. That is the human content that is coming inside it. Yes, I'm sure we are done for the day. If there is no any other question, please listen to the following announcement. Now that we are done with this one for, wait, I'm done with the AI for teaching. Abi, the lecturer on AI for research, Professor Jonathan Shetimi, has the demonstration to me. Please let us watch his demonstration briefly before you ask further question and come for the demo. Thank you.
Some specific AI tools that you can use for research and also for data analysis. But before then, let me just share some things with you. These were the same things I gave to my son, and he told me that he no longer needs me. Are called prompts, specific prompts. So if you like, just take them down. Prompts, just like Professor Nabovla said, is the language of talking with the AI, especially generative AI. The first prompt that you can use is provide. Provide. For example, provide a list of AI tools that can be used for research. It's a very powerful prompt you can use. Another one is explain. What you can do is that you can drop a document in ChatGPT and say, explain the document above. It will do that for you. Another very powerful prompt is summarize. Summarize the main contents of this document. I think one that Professor Nabofa used is generate. Generate. Generate 20 multiple choice questions for 200 level students in technical education for this course titled so. It will do it for you. Then the last one is create. 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 Create an image of the alimentary canal. Create an image. Create an image of the alimentary canal. Create an image of a young girl in an African village. These are powerful prompts that you can use. There are some specific prompts that you can also use. Specific. Write. W-R-I-T-E, write. Translate. 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 Code. give me a Python code, give me a Python code for a program to find the answer to a quadratic equation. Code, C-O-D-E, code. Give me a Python code for a program to find the answer to a quadratic equation. It will generate the code for you in Python. In short, you can tell it any language, any programming language at all. It's just because Python is popular. It can be in Fortran, it can be in COBOL, it can be... Most of these chatbots you see, they know all the programming languages that humans can use. They can program in any language. ChatGPT can program in over 200 programming languages. Now, another very specific question, prompt you can use, is that you just ask it a question. What is the name of the current? Just ask a question. That is a very powerful prompt. Ask a question. How many seasons do you have in Nigeria? It's a specific question. What is the name of the Vice Chancellor of Delta State University? It's a specific question. That is another powerful prompt you can use. Then you can do summarization, summarize this information. And also you can do creative writing. Creative writing. For example, you can say, write a story of a typical African boy in a setting. Most of these chatbots will give you at least 5,000 words of that particular story. We will name the person, give it an African name, and all what not. Then there are some prompts you can use for control. Prompts that can be used for control. And a particular one is format. Format. Give me a table. Give me a table in Microsoft Excel format. By the time you put that format, the chatbot will give you Microsoft Excel format for a table. So this, like as I said, these are just the things I told my son, and he said he no longer needs me. I'm begging him to tell me what he has learned. He said, I am too slow. It's okay. So maybe after you've gone through this thing, by the time I'm too slow, you... Okay. Now, let us give some examples of specific chatbots that you can use for research. Those general chatbots, if you know how to use them very well, you can also use them for research. Like ChatGPT, like the ones he demonstrated, ChatGPT, like Gemini, Copilot. These are popular chatbots. You can use them by combining these prompts that I've given to you. You can use them to do anything that a specific chatbot will do. But because the specific chatbot has been customized to do certain things, we want to demonstrate some specific chatbot. For example, if you need chatbot to extract mathematical tables, if you want to extract mathematical tables, you use Sky Space. Sky Space is spelled S-C-I-S-P-A-C-E. Sky Space. S-C-I-S-P-A-C-E. It is used to extract mathematical tables. You can also use, if you want to do data visualization, you can use data square. Data square is as spelled. You spell data and you spell square. You can use data square. For data visualization, you can use chart pixel. Chart pixel. CHAROT, then PIXEL. Chart pixel. Then there's one that is very good for data analysis. Because as that one is giving you the data analysis, everything you can do in SPSS, this one can do, and more. By the time it does that one, it can also give you the Python code. It can also give you the Python code for whatever you are doing. Because as these programs work, if you are using SPSS, for example, IBM SPSS, there's an underlying program that is working. So if you are a programmer, you can copy that program, you can edit it, and use it for another work without going into SPSS. Now, the same thing that this AI is doing. If you say arrange this table in ascending or descending order, the Python code that is working underneath, it is saved in a different place. You can copy the Python code and use it for a later project. That is the good thing about this one I want to introduce to you. It is called Vizly. V-I-Z-L-Y. V-I-Z-L-Y. Vizly. The moment you type Vizly, AI, it will lead you to where you can enter it. So it goes beyond visualization, also creates Python code for visualization. That is the advantage that this one has. Then, if you are looking for an AI tool for literature review, you can use connected papers. Connected papers. Connected papers is very powerful because it creates a visual image. If you have a paper, maybe Ugoji 2024, by the time you are able to get the DOI, just copy the DOI and drop it in connected paper. It will create a visual image of all papers that are connected to that Ugoji 2024. And depending on the year, you just see the visual image displayed there. With that one, you can get to any of the papers. That's why I tell you that with AI, you don't need Google. If you have a particular paper that you need for your work, what you just simply do, get that major paper and drop it for connected papers. All papers that are related to that particular paper with the year of publication, and you can even say, give me from so-so year to so-so year. It will give you all papers that are connected to that. So you can also use Research Rabbit to Rabbit. I hope that you find time to try all these ones so that Faculty of Education will be in the forefront in this school. Research Rabbit. Rabbit, as in rabbit. If you don't know the spelling, just go and catch the rabbit so that we can. Okay, it's ROABBIT. Then, some AI tools to check, to detect AI. AI detector. The first one is Scribble. Scribble is spelled S-C-R-I-B-B-R. Scribble. S-C-R-I-B-B-R. R-O-I-double-B-R. Arrow, arrow, arrow. Okay. Then we have 0 GPT. 0 GPT. Then Professor Nabofa talked about one. You know, these things that they can be used for multiple things. Like Professor Nabofa used this one I'm going to introduce. He used it for content creation. That is, okay, use it for paraphrasing. It can also be used for paraphrasing. The name is Quillbot. 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 What? Yes. And Quillbot. Q-U-I-L-L-B-O-T. Double L. 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 L-U. Okay. Quillbot. Okay. I think that's about the tools that we want to. Of course, if you want a tool that can bring out the main points of a document, you use Onrido. 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 U-N-R-I-D-L-E. Onrido. Then I think during the lecture I mentioned elicit. Elicit. Elicit can give you information about the paper and can also help you to do a literature review. Elicit. Any paper at all you drop into Elicit, say, give me the main point to give you. So if you have 200 papers, you know, I told you in less than, in few minutes, you can do that. Okay, so let us just look at one of them and see. The one I want to demonstrate is sky space. Sky space. I've already entered into sky space. This is the work area. This is the work area for sky space. See the things that you can do here. Most of these chatbots, they have the same type of what? It's not clear. Look at this side now. Look at this side. Sky space. You can have your documents there. It will save it as being in a library. That's why you have this library. You can chat with a PDF, a particular PDF. If you have a PDF document, you drop it into Skyspace, you can query it, ask questions about the document. Anything at all, it will give you information about that document. If you have a document, you are not sure of the methodology of the research. If you ask Skyspace, it will give you the methodology. Then you can also use it for literature review. You can use it for writing. You can also find concepts from that particular document. You can also use it for paraphrase. You can also use it for citation generation. Once you want to generate your citation, what you just need to supply to the AI that tell it the format you are using. If it is APA, if it is anyone at all, just tell it, it will give it to you. So, and again, you can use it as an AI detector, and you can use it as to extract data. But what I want to use it for today as a demonstration is to be able to chat, to extract information, to do table from the particular document. Supposing you have a work, author drops a table inside that work. You are finding it difficult to understand the table. What you can do is that you put the work in PDF format in Sky Space, and you can get an explanation for the table. Very beautiful explanation. With that explanation, you can now even work on that particular work and improve the work. So let us see. If you have your system there, you can just type in Google. You can just type Sky Space. You go to that place easily. But I'm already there. So what I want to do is that I go to my library. In my library, I have 2 of my work, which I've put in the library. I just put them there today. And the 2 are, the first one is Shetimi J 2021. Now, once you put it there, it gives you information about the document. You can actually select certain things you want to put there. Look at that TL, D arrow. That was how I was able to read 200 this thing in just a few minutes to be able to do some research. You are seeing something here. It says, are you seeing this one? It says TL, D arrow. What that means is that too long didn't read. That is what it means. Too long didn't read. Now, that too long didn't read. Look at the information it has given me about this paper. It is telling me that this paper examines customers' perception of electricity distribution in Delta State. Even gave me the particular reference. That is 1. Are you there? It gives me the reference. Now, it also says factors that are influencing include household dependence and monthly bills. It has also given me reference to that particular one. And these 4 points that it has given to me, because I am the person that actually wrote the paper, it coincides with what I actually know of the paper. So somebody can, without having to read this paper, just get the main points of the particular paper. So instead of you to get all the papers, you go and photocopy, you print, before you now do your literature review, what you simply do is this. Just get all the PDFs. By the time you get the PDFs, even if it's only one PDF you have, you drop it in connected papers. All the PDFs you can download, then you bring it here. You'll be able to do a literature review, a perfect literature review in a matter of minutes. Now, it also gives me these things that I have here are what I asked it to do for me. Those are the things it has given to me. The columns I choose. The columns I choose are the ones it will populate for me. It has close to 15 columns. It can do a summary, it can do content, it can do main points of the paper. So the columns you choose gives you opportunity to add, for example, it can do a literature survey, it can do limitations of the work. So those things you normally query for a particular paper can be done for you. Now, let us see something about this. I told you that this man can equally work on table. Now, I have this is the particular paper. Now, assuming that the explanation I was giving there is not enough, see what I'm going to do. In the tables, you are constrained with space. You are constrained with space. I want to get a particular table and let it explain for me. You see this Sigma symbol here? You click it. This Sigma symbol here, you click it. By the time you click the Sigma symbol, you see that the Sigma explain table is now highlighted. Then you will not collect that particular table you want explained. Now highlight it. Highlight the table you want explained. I want this table to be explained to me. Now, on the other side, it's working. By the time I finish working, you see the explanation for this table. So, whatever table, no matter how complicated it is, it will be able to give you, say, detailed explanation about the table. Say the table presents data related to the relationship between different factors affecting the perception. It uses statistical method to show. You see, gives you so many information about the tables, although some of the information here might not be correct. For example, as HEQ was not as for the energy quality. But anyhow, he is also discussing that particular variable. So in the actual document, you can know what HEQ is and know what you are using. But some of them, surprisingly, was able to get them, like ABC, like AMI, was able to get them. But that particular one, he didn't get it correctly. So it has also given us that the table contains correlation coefficients. You see, with just this table, you can analyze and get 4-5 pages in your literature. So for people that do go to SPSS, when after going to do SPSS, they are looking for somebody, who will interpret this thing for me. You no longer need that. Even to the extent of the level of significance, it has explained to you what they mean. The sample size, just one table, just one table. So you can do that for all the tables you have in a particular document, and you can gain more insight into the particular work. That is the advantage that is. Apart from summarizing the documents for you, you can also deal with mathematical tables. I know that that's one of the difficult things that people find hard to deal with. Then, it has its own co-pilot. It is saying, ask me any question. Any question. Let me begin to ask it some questions now. What are the main points of this work? What are the main points of this work? You see, it's working, it's thinking. You see, it has been able to give you the study titled Factors Affecting the Perception of Electricity Customers on the Problem of Electricity Distribution in Delta State, South Nigeria, present several key findings. And these are the things you actually need when you are doing a literature review. For example, I can ask it, what gap does this paper fill? You know, when you are doing a literature review, you want to know whether there is something, there's a gap that the literature is filling. So it's thinking, if the paper is so useless that it does not fill any gap, it will tell you, then you're not going to, this is my paper, AI is rubbish in my paper. But let's see, by the time it comes, gap addressed. You see, some of these things cannot be easily seen by the human eye. But it has given me gaps that it is addressing. You know, when some people come to PG school, my experience in PG school, they do what they call literature description. They don't do literature review. A literature review is supposed to build up to the work. Describe all the literature describe, they'll use like 50 pages for just literature description. But there is no gap. At the end of the day, you don't see where those literatures that were being reviewed is pointing to. That's one of the things that the external examiner used to query when they come for their PhD or their MSc. Say, what is the gap that this your work is filling? What is the relationship between the literature you reviewed and this particular work? I tell you that 90% of the persons that come when I was in PhD school are unable to answer such questions. They just do literature review for the sake of literature review. But what it's supposed to do is to lead you to that work, because you read this thing, you now discover that you want to do this work because of the gap that has been created. And that is the gap that the literature is supposed to fill for you. So it gave me some gap, although when I wrote this paper, I didn't consider some of these things, but it has given me some of them, which will make me to even, I can even decide to review this paper and make it better. I can ask another specific question. What can be done to make this paper better? What can be done to make this paper better? So it's going to give you some suggestions that you can. Okay, suggestions. To enhance the quality and impact of the paper, title this, several improvements can be considered. One, broader sample size, inclusion of qualitative data, longitudinal study design, exploration of additional variables. These are things that you can use to make this paper and policy recommendations. You know, because of the field I'm coming from, at times we don't do that in science. We normally don't do policy recommendation. I see it in education, I see it in social sciences, management sciences. But in mathematics, for example, we want to actually concern ourselves with the mathematics and leave the policy for the other persons that are interested in it. But it's drawing my attention to that now, that with a policy recommendation, I can improve this paper and some other things, visualization of data and the rest. So this particular tool, there are other tools that work like this. But this particular tool gives you a powerful tool that you can use for your document. Apart from summarizing the document, it gives you an additional advantage that you can deal with tables that prove very difficult for people to understand. So, time will not permit us to also to demonstrate some other ones. But this one just gives you a vivid picture of what you can do with a particular specific AI tool. In this case, we have dealt with Sky. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, are you asking a question? Oh yeah, quickly.
Thank you, sir. Which of the AI tools can we use to generate research instruments? For example, you are writing on a particular topic. You want AI to give you an instrument, a possible research instrument to be used for that research. Is there any area we can go on it? Then secondly, you want to know, for example, the errors, possible errors that are in a research paper. You have a soft copy of a research paper. For example, now, maybe the paper to be presented in a conference like this. You have written it using your own knowledge to the best you can. So you want AI to give you some of the errors that maybe you may not see humanly, not seeing in that work. You want AI to bring out the errors for you. Which area can we go? Thank you, sir.
Okay. I think Professor Nabofa did that using a keyboard as a paraphraser. You can do that. But let me tell you something. These general purpose chatbots, they are very powerful. That was why before I started this thing, what I did, I gave you examples of prompts. I gave you 5 prompts that you can use. They are very powerful. Now, I tell you something. If you have a document you have already done, copy that document, drop it in Gemini, drop it in ChatGPT, drop it in Microsoft Copilot, any of them. By the time you drop it, you press enter. This is one of the tricks you can use. Press enter. You know the machine has been trained to think like a human being. It may just tell you, okay, this document is like this, it is written like this, but these are the things you can do. It may just tell you generally. But you cannot ask, please, although please does not mean anything to it because not a human being. But if you are polite, it's still good. Eh? It does not. It does not. Well, let me tell you, most chatbots, they know that they are not humans. So if you come in the morning, when I started using a chatbot, I will say good morning. He will say thank you. Say, but this good morning does not mean anything to me, Jonathan, because I am not a human being. So if you use the word please, it will ignore it. It does not, whether you put please or not, it will give you what you desire. But a human being wants to be emotional. You want something from me, you are not saying please. So all those emotional things, if you can avoid them, avoid them. But if you are used to saying please, you can just add please. But I tell you, those things are created to know that they are not humans. So humans are emotional, things are not emotional. So they are not interested in your please. Welcome, good morning. They are not interested. Some will even go as far as telling you that, don't greet me again. You are wasting my time. Try it for this year. Some will tell you like that. So, but you can say, consider the document above and tell me the errors that are in this document. It will just do that for you. You'll be surprised. Some of the things with grammar error, give you some errors, technical errors in the document. Give you things that you think, because they look beyond what the humans look at. Now, if you are marking script, for example, there's something that they call Matthew effect. When the rich get richer, when the people want to go to the bank, if you have more money, they'll give you more loan, right? Now, if you have a student that is in your class as a human, you want to mark, and you know that this student is always punctual, always answering questions, always doing something. I tell you, because of the Matthew effect, you are more likely to be biased if you are marking that script. Whether they put only mark number or not, you have come to know the child's handwriting. Biased when you are doing that. But these machines, they don't do that. So they look beyond what humans look. Those things that make us humans, they are not for the machines. They just want to take the intelligence and they go. So you can try any of the chatbots. They can do that for you.
You are getting more interested now. Let's take one or two. What did you say?
Why don't you do this thing we are saying? If you have any chatbot open, just drop your document there and you say, what are the possible research questions that can come out of this? It will give you, if you are looking for 5, it will give you 20. You now begin to select.
Okay, any other one? Quickly, please. We are running behind schedule. Okay, yeah.
The question I want to ask is,
apart from what I want to show you, and I want to, if you want to develop questionnaire, I want to send outside to people to answer for you. How do you use AI to generate them before you send to the people outside, then answer and bring back to you? Generate questions on AI, then send out for people to respond before getting your.
Wait, let me clarify something. Let me clarify something. When we are saying AI, we are talking of an artificial intelligence. We have so many of them. You understand? But there's also a concept, or there's also something in AI called assistance. AI assistance. Now, like Professor Nabupa wrote a letter. Wrote a letter. You can go beyond that, because you have assistants that can route that letter to the vice chancellor. You understand? And you have assistants. Those are specialized tools. Deal with those ones. Those are specialized tools.
Hello. Thank you very much, Prof. My question is, in research, which is better, according to the new Delsu AI regulations? Which one is better? Is it for you to use your human effort to develop a paper first before putting it into AI to refine it for you? Or you give it to AI first to generate, then use your human effort to refine it? So which is better? In line with the new AI regulation.
Somebody want to answer the question? Okay. See, let me tell you. I think in a few sentences that I used to introduce this workshop, or this part of the workshop, I was emphasizing human-centeredness. Now, it depends on your own ability and what you think you can do. For example, I always tell people, when Grammarly came, I will tell you, if you don't know grammar, you cannot use Grammarly. That is a fact. Now, you want to use a tool to make something faster for you. You should have the concept. You should conceptualize it and be able to know what will serve of this tool. You are the master. Nobody will take that to you. The AI policy does not even talk about what to do, the steps to take to do what you want to do. But you should know what will serve the rest with the usage and the rest. So that is the way I want to look at that bad question.
Thank you very much, Prof. My question is, when you started, you gave us examples of chatbots. And for example, this Sky Space, if you're using it, is there an extent you're going to use it and you'll be asked to subscribe? And of all these chatbots you gave to us, which are free? Because when Prof. Abofa was presenting the other time, he told us that chatbots like the Quillbot needs subscription. So which among all these are free that we can use to any extent and will get our results? And if we want to subscribe, how do we do it? Thank you.
Okay. In principle, I will tell you that most of these programs you are using, they are not free. All these programs you are using, all those things, they are not free. If you are using a free version of any software, you have limited capabilities. That is what you should note. Even when they tell you ChatGPT is free, they give you 3.0 free. When it comes to 4.0, they say subscribe. They give you, they say type space is free. When you pass 5 number of columns, they tell you subscribe. So most of these, when they tell you free, they are not free in actuality. But I can even tell you further that as a programmer, I know that they also are not free. They are using you, by you using the software, to generate their own income. You see, Google gives you something free. By the time you log in and you are seeing an advert, they send it to the patron and they are paid. So all those things you think are free, you are actually contributing. It's just like when these people in the US, their military, what they call them, when they design APA, that's what become the World Wide Web. It was surprising to everybody that they gave it free to the world. You can use the internet free of charge. But the fact is that the internet is not free because you are contributing by using the internet to the subscription for that internet. So it's not actually free. So by you using it, you are giving revenue to the developers of most of those systems. So if you think that somebody will give you something free, you think they are how do they call them? They are philanthropic people. They are not. They are business. Those people are the people that even make the biggest money on earth. How does Google make its money? You think it's by just allowing you to use their search engine free? And you use it, something hits somewhere, and they make money. So that is just the fact.
Thank you. Please give him a sounding clap offering. Let me make this pronouncement here. The dean of the faculty is here. Is it not clear now here that we don't have any more job to do in our faculty defenses? Hello? Is it not clear now that all the job we can carry this one and give this person a glory? No. We will no longer do it because we'll invite you to embrace AI, to reduce our work. You have to. You don't have any reason now. Young academics say you can't publish in Scopus. Hello? Here is AI. In 2 days, 3 days, well, depending on the volume of field work you need to do, your paper is ready. You don't need any person to read it. Let me tell you, I started suspecting that most of us will start losing our job when my students started submitting their results of, their project. This one is sounding so sweet. Who is writing this one? You look at the person. This person cannot. It's an AI. So there was nothing to correct again. So, talking about here, any person who here now cannot publish 6 or more papers in a year, Scopus index. Now you hold yourself. I want to specifically thank Professor Nabofa. You know, Professor Nabofa is a naughty man. You know why he's naughty? Even when you are bringing your analog knowledge and conservatism, he said no. And I see why he has been saying no. What are we saying here? Even the papers you are now bringing for review now, no person is going to read anything. Nobody. Assessment or review is by AI. Simple. Yes. The soft copy. If you have submitted a hard copy and you have gone and you don't have a soft copy, you are on your own. Please. Because there have been about 1 or 2 researches. I'm confessing. About 1 or 2 researches on my table. For some time now, I go right, go up. I go right, come down. I go right, go up. I go right, come down. Here, all the answers are here. In the next 2 weeks, I'll be done with that research. If you don't take advantage of what you have learned today, you are not helping yourself. In fact, the conference we are talking about tomorrow, today for me, any person who is here has lost. Professor Shetimi, I didn't know we have somebody like you in this university. Now, what it means is that both Professor Shetimi and Professor Nabofa are on permanent consultancy to the Faculty of Education. Yes, to the Faculty of Education. Me, if I want to give an address, I'll come to meet you people. You, if you are doing your research and they hook you, go and meet them. Is the work not done? Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a rousing. Yes. So, tomorrow, please, some announcements. Tomorrow is the technical section. Actually, it's important we come around so that at least we also do some physical presentation. We are consulting some professors whether they will avail us of their presence so that they can chair some sessions. But any PhD holder here is qualified to chair a session. You can chair a session, you can be a rapporteur. So you have to stand by. Let me mention a few names. If I don't mention them, that doesn't mean you don't need to stand by. Please. I already talked to Dr. Ms. Okomo. He's an associate professor. In fact, he's an incoming professor. So her own is assured. And she already is standing by to chair a session tomorrow. Also, I thought Dr. Ms. Anyanwu was here, but I think she has gone. You know, they come from Obiara. Maybe they are trained. As they train, we say, come on, if you don't come, you're on your own. But I know she will come around tomorrow. If she comes around, I know why I'm mentioning her. One of our participants today is visually impaired. Did you see him? And he was vibrating to tell you how far he's taking advantage of facilities, or what to call assistive devices. Assistive devices to the blind, to the physically challenged, so many devices. In fact, recently I attended a conference in Abuja, which the dean sent me to go and represent the university, as nominated by the vice chancellor. It was about people with disability and how to include them in higher education in Nigeria. JAMB is already doing something. They are doing a lot to help physically challenged other people with disability, one form of disability, so that they can write JAMB, they can join us in the university. When the man came here, that was the question he asked. Whether we are ready to accommodate them. You can imagine in a regular university, you know who will always need to go with a wheelchair. And you are fixing a lecture in an upstairs. So there must be 3 or 4 people to do what? To carry him like they carried that lame man through the ceiling when Jesus Christ was coming. So you can see how that alone can discourage that person from coming to a university or to acquire university. But the good news about it is that there is all forms of technology assistance or assistive devices for every kind of impairment. There's so many. That's why I was mentioning Dr. Ms. Anyang. You know, she's a specialist in special education. So if she comes around tomorrow, at least she'll be able to accommodate such people when they are going to present. I also want to mention these people. They can stand by. Of course, Dr. Obro is coordinating this. Dr. S. Obro. I want to also call my HOD to stand by. He can chair a session or be a rapporteur, the case be. Dr. Garuba, have you gone? You are still there. So you should also stand by. I'm sure they have contacted Professor Daniel now. Obro will do that. Maybe a few others who will be around. Please, we encourage you to come tomorrow. We hope to have about 3 or more technical sessions, depending on the attendance tomorrow. So if you come early, we'll quickly arrange it, and then you do your presentation, take your notes. But from what has happened in this workshop today, you can see that you have just a little work to do. To do. Please, I encourage you to come. By 10, we should be able to kickstart. I don't know whether my team wants to say something before we can close formally. Abi? Okay.
Thank you very much, LOC Chairman and members of. We have all done well. I want to specially appreciate my colleagues who are on the other side. Thank you so much for coming and for staying on till the end of this session. I want to encourage us to all come out again tomorrow, please. You will agree with me that you have learned a lot today. Tomorrow is going to be more than what you have seen today. So why don't you avail yourselves of the opportunity? We'll be here again tomorrow. We hope to start exactly at 10 o'clock. Please let us try as much as possible to be punctual. Tomorrow is Friday. When we come on time, we'll be able to round up on time. Please, I want to encourage us to be here. You know, the attendance today was very, very encouraging. I will want it to continue tomorrow, please. Thank you very much. I wish you all safe journey as you return back to your various destinations. And may the good Lord continue.
Thank you. Thank you. The session is still here in this 500 capacity. We'll break up into various units. Thank you very much.